Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, or if this is your first time or if you've joined recently during this Yellowstone River series that we've been doing, welcome to Chris's Granite Paradise. What you're seeing here is actually Granite Paradise Sculpture Garden in Fort Collins, Colorado. I'm saying this because we'll be at the Yellowstone River again in today's video. But I don't want everyone to think that I have become a strictly Yellowstone channel. I just happen to get up there fairly often. We're looking at here a portion of my Yellowstone River collection that I have here on the sculptures. And still have a few more videos coming. Today I have a very special treat for you. These rocks here are also from the Yellowstone. I've got lots of Yellowstone stuff here. I hope you've been enjoying these recent videos along the river there. Today, again, we'll be up there. Got a special treat for you, and that is we'll be joining my friend Art, and he is showing me his very unique flat rock deposit. The Yellowstone River is not known for its flat rocks. As you can see, here are some here, which I'll show you in more detail in a minute. I want to show you these because the rocks where we are along the river are very dirty. So in the footage, you'll see the shape of the rocks, but you really won't see much of the color. But you can see they represent literally every variety. My apologies, these are not Yellowstone River. These are slabs of flower stone from California. But there we go. Now we're looking at Yellowstone River flat rocks. These are all from the location that we'll be looking at in today's video. Come along. I think this will be really fun for you guys, especially if you like flat rocks and building cairns and things like that. Very unique deposit. I'm here with my good friend Art. We're along the Yellowstone River near Billings, Montana. And he is showing me, and it has been long awaited, this is called armoring. I looked it up, had to do a little bit of research. But if you've watched my other videos about the Yellowstone River, most of the rocks are round and whatever normal shapes river rocks have. But in this area, they're all flat. And some of them are quite large. Okay, and supposedly what happens is the current is just so that it armors the softer sediments underneath. It's just at the right speed and the right conditions that only the flat rocks, or mostly flat rocks, settle out. And of course these have been walked on for a long time, so they're kind of mixed up. But it's amazing what a high percentage of the rocks are flat. Yeah, look at these. This is so cool. They're all flat. They're dirty here. Yeah, they've been under the water and haven't been cleaned off. But just all flat rocks. And I intend on making a display with the rocks. Maybe I'll do it and add it to this video now that I'm thinking of it. I quickly put together this kind of an example of how these rocks are laid down. If you can imagine the water coming from that direction flowing this way, the rocks tend to, and I use the word tend because they're not always perfectly laid like this, but when I was probably 15 years old, I came across a section of riverbed that was similar to what we're seeing in today's video, but it had not been disturbed yet, and the rocks were very perfectly laid, so much so that I thought somebody did it on purpose. So the flat surface kind of faces upstream slightly, and I think they just come in and kind of start maybe at this end and start stacking up. Anything round, the current's strong enough and it just rolls away. So Very fascinating. And again, I think I've said this already, but the rock variety has nothing to do with the flatness. I mean, here we have puddingstones, we've got granites, we've got porphyries, pretty much any kind of rock you find in the Yellowstone, but here they're flat. Very unique deposit that we're seeing today. I've only seen it twice in my life. Again, it was that time when I was probably 15 years old, and now what we're seeing with my friend Art. So I'm really excited to be able to share this with you guys. While we're here, I want to point out another interesting phenomena to you guys. So the hills around here are made of shale. And shale is, of course, very sedimentary, very soft sedimentary rock made of mud. And it expands and contracts with water, and frost really destroys it. Do you see all these little black piles? So as the river digs into the bottom, of course, it's running across shale. And if you come in the spring, right after a flood event, you can find these that are still intact. But these have been sitting here long enough, they just turn into, they disintegrate into these piles. These are chunks of the bedrock that the river dug into probably in 22 when the last big flood was. But look at them, they're all over here. These are just shale. It was probably a chunk of shale sitting here, and it over, you know, from the frost and the drying and wetting, it disintegrated. But look at all these, they're all flat. Very interesting.
You see him on that rock?
I cannot. Let's walk over there though. Yeah, you people who like to skip rocks, there's no shortage here. Of course, the river's a long ways away.
Right there. There's the other one behind you. Right there. You see it right there?
Oh yeah, Art was piling these up for me. Look at that. They've been washed by the rain a little bit. So cool. Thank you, Art.
Yeah.
And I set my water bottle down somewhere. So if the river is flowing from left to right as we're looking at it, I mean, some of these are probably still laying in their original position. I do see a general tendency for them to be oriented with the broadside facing upstream. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at these right here. So like these, the broadside faces where the current's coming from. There we go. And that's how I remember it. That's how I remember that they were like roof tiles. I mean, here they're kind of still that way, just stacked against each other. And of course, us and a million other people have walked over these. But this is fascinating. And then if you go 100 feet over there, they're all round. They're all back to normal stuff. This is really cool. So Art piled these up back in the day. We're running out of light, but let's see what some of these look like. Oh yeah. See, they still... Let's go look at that sandstone one we were just looking at. You people who like to make cairns, I think that's what they're called, where you stack the rocks up like this, you can do a lot of cairning right here. You have an unlimited stash of flat rocks of every different kind. I mean, like, look at this one. You would think normally a sandstone would break along the layers, but this one it's flat across the layers, which is kind of rare. And of course, the rocks in Fort Collins, Art brought me a beautiful selection showing nearly every rock variety in flat form. I just can't stop marveling at how all these flat rocks are here. I mean, if we were at a river, oh, let's say in the Appalachians somewhere where all the rock is sandstone, of course all the rocks are going to be flat. But the Yellowstone is not known for flat rocks, nor are these varieties known to be flat. Yeah, they're just all flat. And I apologize that I have not beseeched the Lord to send some amazing thunderstorm here to wash all these off. So they're dirty. I mean that jokingly, of course. But they are dirty, and that's just the way it is. But if these were clean, they would be every color and pattern you can imagine. If you've watched my other Yellowstone videos, the rock varieties here are astounding. We're in the bottom of a channel though, and so they're not cleaned off. Oh, there's a nice one. Yeah, look at that. See, and that's a granite. It's just a flat granite.
I think that's the color of it, or everything is stained.
I think that's its color. It probably has some iron oxide in it. I mean, the water kind of brings out some color. Oh, yeah.
It's a young bald eagle.
Beautiful Montana.
That was a nice one.
You want to say something?
Say, I'm glad we're here, Chris. This is going to be fun picking through these. And I'm excited about your example of the flat rocks, how they form in one area of the river.
Yeah, I want to build that in Granite Paradise. And it'll be based on kind of what we're observing here. Thank you so much for bringing me here. Let's fill up our packs before we run out of daylight. I'm shooting this clip here in Columbus, Montana. It's a different part of the river, but we're talking about how the Yellowstone River sorts rocks. And we're looking at the area where all the rocks were flat. And this is a different type of sorting that we can see is very clear here. Here, most of these small rocks are basalt, which it's another way of saying they're mafic, they're dark color, they're heavy compared to rocks of the same size of a lighter color. And now if you look, as I go over there towards the river, most of the larger rocks, look at the color change. It quickly goes from black, predominantly dark rocks, to predominantly light rocks. So this is another example of the sorting that goes on. And my theory is because the same amount of water pressure can move a larger, lighter weight rock than the smaller, or as the smaller, darker rocks. But it's pretty marked, the contrast. I just thought that was an interesting thing to show you guys. When you're out and about, remember that rocks can be sorted by size, shape, and also their specific gravity, how heavy they are in relation to the water. And as I focus there further away, look how the color gets lighter. The Yellowstone is such a big river when it floods, and it floods for a long enough period that it can create conditions that really do quite a bit of sorting. Jess wants to play fetch. So I wanted to show you guys here where we've approached that light colored gravel bar that I was showing you. Here you can see a lot of darker rocks. And then the larger rocks are almost without exception granitic of a lighter color. Well, thank you so much for coming along for today's video of the Yellowstone River flat rocks. I have exciting news for you guys. What we're seeing here are my rocks from San Diego, California, and specifically Tourmaline Beach. Lord willing, in January, just in a few weeks really, I will be heading down there, and I hope to do a lot of filming. We'll be at the beaches with my friend Grant and his wife Cindy, and I think we're going to be going on some rock hunting trips, maybe to the Mojave Desert and a few other places. So then I'll have a whole bunch of new subscribers thinking I'm a San Diego channel. But again, these are special treats that we don't get to do every day. I hope you're enjoying them. I'll try to keep them coming. And again, I sure hope you're enjoying this Yellowstone series. We're going to keep going. I still have a few more videos to post from the Yellowstone that were filmed in late November when I was up there. God bless you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.